what sort of tools or frameworks are you seeing work well to support pricing decisions? I mean, obviously your tool is one, but tell us a little bit more.
Well, I'm gonna start
Here's
with
the pitch.
elephant. Yeah. Well, no, I'm gonna start with the elephant in the room and actually talk about what are the tools that we use to price today in an agency. And this one always never ceases to amaze me that 90 to 95% of agencies today will be using an Excel spreadsheet with a staff plan on it. They may even be using an Excel spreadsheet, and they might have some outputs and elements, and they could even have some deliverables or things in it, but they're still using an Excel spreadsheet. So coming up with pricing is almost always predominantly an Excel spreadsheet. They then take that into a statement of work, which is in Word, and that'll hold different kind of MSAs and items. So firstly, the tool that you use for pricing, which I think is one of the most important things in the business, is really not fit for purpose. It's manual. There's no automatic version control in it. There'll be lots of people. And typically how we deal with that at the moment is we limit the number of people who can get involved in pricing. We slow it down, and actually that bottleneck to speed, there's another really kind of scary quote that 58% of businesses actually choose the first scope or price that they get for a piece of business because they are coming to you because they want to move quickly. So I think wholeheartedly a little bit of the, and I'm trying not to pitch at the moment because I have a platform, but the tools that we use in agencies today for pricing are woefully inadequate because it's manual processes, and it's certainly not kind of designed for scale, and it's not designed for volume either.
Okay, so you've got a model. What are you looking at in there that's different to what John or Tia could have on their spreadsheet?
Well, I think the thing is that the joy with spreadsheets is that you have clients who like to do things a lot of different ways. So how do you take all of that information, and why do you need it in a platform or a tool to manage? Because you might have some clients who are project based. You might have some clients that are retainers or FTEs. You could have some that are fixed fee. You might even have, heaven forbid, some cost plus. You might have some outputs or deliverables. You might be, there's so many different ways that you could price for a piece of business that personally, I think you need to start to, just like you need a pricing council within your business to think about it and to move models for your business's profitability. I think you then need kind of a tool, or at least something where the single source of truth, so that you can then move clients. How are better ways to do it? What are different paces of learning? Because I just don't think the tools are currently fit for purpose.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Tia? Anything to add on that?
Definitely the fact that the tools are not fit for purpose, but also because they're like very one-dimensional. And what I was saying earlier about the fact that very often these dimensions of what we're creating together cannot be taken into account in something like that, because it's very much like, yes, a spreadsheet, which is one-dimensional. But these days, if we take the opportunity of AI properly on board, that's like you can create bespoke like systems and tools very quickly by having elements that are one-dimensional, but also the almost kind of the money come by, which can be brought back to a value that you give to it. And I'll give a very like easy example to understand, right? Like if I'm working with someone as I'm kind of leader, and they come to me and they want to become good at public speaking, right? The first question is, how much do you charge, right, per hour? My answer is, how much do you want to become good at public speaking, right? What's the value that you put on that? And I never give the cost per hour, never. Like I refuse. They can calculate it in the end if they want to, but my answer is, go out and figure out how much this is important to you in terms of the PR that is going to give you, promotion, how much you value that, the exposure that you will get internally, externally. I'm giving that example to show that there's always things that you can use to put a value on something that could feel quite intangible otherwise. Want to become great at public speaking is intangible. What happens when you do that? And what are those things that you get? Now we can put a value on that, and we can go back at putting a system together that has those more tangible elements as well as the more intangible. And there's always a version of that you can create. And of course, it will be very different by industry and by client, to Tracey's